So Whitby Town falling to a 2-1 defeat here against FC United of Manchester. A tough one to take out there, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a very spirited performance today. Just slightly fell short against a good, FC United side that I think will be up there and are up there for the reasons that we've seen today. But like you say, from our point of view, we put a good performance in. Maybe some of the moments in the game that we could have, used a bit more to our advantage, and possibly a little bit of officiating in there. Key moments really that maybe didn't go for us, but I can't question the application and the effort the guys put in, particularly when we went down to 10 men.
How would you sum up the first half? Because there seemed to be very little chances created for both sides. The best chance of Whitby probably Paul Blackett when he fired just over the bar, but Shane Lamb being called into action on the one occasion. A bit of a cagey affair, would you say, that first half?
Yeah, I think it was a cagey affair. I think we conceded too much territory in the central areas, which allowed possession for FC United. We talked at half time about engaging with the opposition and asking questions and trying to create more transitions, and I think we did that, and I think we did that really well. And even with, like you said, 10 men, we seemed to create these scenarios where we got Paul away, in one-on-one situations, 2v2 situations, but just unfortunately it didn't fall for us. When we were looking for a little bit of quality, whether it was crossing the ball, whether it was getting a shot away, or a little bit of luck in terms of how things were running, like I said, just it eluded us today.
In that second half, that's where the action all really started, and a bit of a nightmare start with Kieran Wellergy being dismissed. Your view on that one?
I think it's the right decision. I think in fairness, if Keyser goes and attacks the ball at its height, then I don't think he gets himself in bother in that respect. The kids obviously made sure that the referee's decision was never going to be other than anything that it was. But like you say, it was the right decision.
But of course, just after that as well, Whitby falling behind, and the goal there, a header in the middle of the box. Do you feel that perhaps if Kieran Wellergy was there, that goal would have perhaps been avoided? Possibly,
but I think not so much for the ball being converted from a central area, but maybe we'd have done better to prevent the cross, because that was the biggest concern in going down to 10 men. The overloads that were created in wide areas were always going to cause us problems, and I think for the most part we defended that well, but ultimately on that situation there, they did capitalise on it.
But did you feel after falling behind for the first time that got a reaction from Whitby, because they seemed to be pushing a lot more bodies forward and creating chances?
Yeah, again it was spirited. It kept going. It didn't lack belief. Disappointing obviously to concede late on and ultimately lose the game on the back of that, because we were looking towards a hard fought 1-1 draw, which I thought the lads, like you said, justified today. But sometimes when you're at the top of the league and you're pushing for honours, then moments present themselves and people capitalise on moments, and that creates that momentum, where for us today that wasn't to be.
And then it was late on when the win eventually came. It's a big sucker punch, I think, would you say, about that goal?
Yeah, again the game seemed to ebb and flow. It was us on attack, it was them on attack, it was their possession, and then attack, it was transition, us on attack, and like you say, it went from one end of the park to the other. So something was going to give, and as I say, unfortunately it was in the favour of FC United.
Some positives to take from today as well. Callum Patter getting his first start. You must be pleased with to getting back in action.
Yeah, we just said that in there. We said it's disappointing, and we should be disappointed by the result, but we can take positives today with performances. We can equally take positives from the fact that Cal's got game time in, Dale's had 25 minutes, so they are real positives, because they're two big players coming back into the squad.
And with Dale Hobson, was that always part of the game plan, just to sort of bring him on for the last few minutes of the game?
Yeah, it has to be. Obviously he's had a lengthy spell out. We've got to be careful that we don't give him too many minutes too soon. So he'll suffer tomorrow. He'll have an achy body tomorrow, but hopefully there's no reaction with regards to his injury, and we can start to develop the game time and increase that and get him back up to full match fitness.
Of course, today as well was the last official game of Paul Blackett's month-long spell from Gateshead. Have we got any progress on potentially extending that loan?
Yeah, we're pleased to announce that Paul will be with us for another month, which, like you say, is a real positive. I think since Paul's came in, there's no coincidence. We've had an upturn in form, and like you say, Paul's been heavily involved in that. So to have him for another month is a massive positive.
And looking ahead to next week, it's a trip over to Warrington. It's always a tough place to go, that one, isn't it? And Whitby perhaps not having the best of records against Warrington over the last few seasons.
Yeah, in the time I've been here, like you said, I don't think we've had many positive results over there, but we've had a lot of positive performances, and I think with ultimately what we've done today, we can look to build on that, and we can look to make it that 50-50 game that gets us an opportunity to try and create points and get us moving up the table. Just
finally finishing with some more team news. Bradley Mills not involved today. Have we got any updates on his injury?
Yeah, it's a complicated one with Brad. He's in a boot at the moment. We think he's had an X-ray that suggests he might have a hairline fracture. We don't think it's as serious as that. We think that maybe we're looking at 6 weeks. He's been in the sidelines with some shin splints and a shin complaint.
And he'll also be looking to welcome Luke Biveway back as well next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, more the merrier. Like you say, we've got lots and lots of games coming up, and the squad's going to need to be at full strength to be able to deal with the packed fixture list.
Thank you very much, Chris.
You're welcome, mate.